Hello, and welcome to Stand on the Rock. I am Rocky, and in this video, I'm going to be discussing neglect laws, as well as the objection to a pro-choice argument for that's related to neglect laws that is known as the violinist argument, but it has to do with, I believe, foundationally, the application of neglect laws to the child in the womb. So, first of all, let's just dive into this. Surrounding the topic of abortion, there is a popular argument from the pro-choice side that goes something like that. It's the bodily autonomy argument. It's something like you can't tell women what they can do with their bodies. You can't tell women what they can and cannot do with their bodies. And that's the argument. Sometimes, and the violinist argument kind of goes like this. There's a scenario put forward where there's some random person that's dying from a disease, and your body is needed to keep that person alive, whether that's they need your blood or they need your organ, or so for 9 months you need to be like connected to them, and then that'll keep them alive, and then you can separate. But and then the argument continues that says there should be no law in place that forces you to use your body to connect to that person to keep them alive. You should have the choice to do what you want with your body. And if you choose not to keep that person alive by using your body to do that, that's your free choice. And the government and the law should have no place to force you to do that. So overall, I would agree with that. And here's why this scenario it fails when it relates to abortion. So there's two reasons why it fails when it relates to abortion. One has to do with neglect laws, and I'm going to connect that to first. So first, there is a unique relationship between parents and children. And the parent of a child has a moral obligation to provide a safe and healthy environment for the child to develop. This is known as neglect laws. So if you have a baby and you just lock it in a bedroom and you don't feed it and you don't take care of it, and then that child dies, you will be charged with murder and neglect. And even if they find that's happening before the child dies, you'll be charged with neglect, and that child will probably be taken to foster care or somewhere where a safe and healthy environment can be provided for that child. So neglect laws are already in place for born children. Parents have to use their bodies to provide the resources that the children need to develop. As for the first several years of the child's life outside the womb, they're not able to feed themselves. The parent has to use their body to feed the child one way or another, whether it's breastfeeding or whether it's another form of feeding. You still have to use your body to feed the child. You also have to use your body to change the diapers and do all sorts of other things that the child cannot do for themselves. You also have to use your body to make money and get financial resources that you can then provide for the child financially. You have to go use your body to go earn money, and then you have to take that money that you earn, and some of that money is going to go to the baby right away, go to the child. You're going to go to the grocery store, you're going to buy food, and all of that food is not for you. some of that food is going to be for the child, and you have to buy it. This is that you used your body to go to earn that money. You used your body to go to the grocery store. This is all ways that you use your body to care for that child and provide a safe and healthy environment for that child to develop. And all I'm saying is that this foundational principle that parents or the guardian of the child, whoever that is, if they get adopted, that adoptive parent needs to do that. If they're in foster care, the foster care guardian of the child needs to do this. The parent or guardian of the child has a moral obligation and should be enforced by law to provide a safe and healthy environment for that child to develop. And when the child is in the womb, that obligation is placed on the mother. And that is a necessity. If they don't want to keep the child, they can give it up for adoption, things like this. There's plenty of options. There are over 30 adoptive families waiting for every single born infant. The infant adoption rate is 99% or more than 99%. There is no infants that get placed directly into foster care. Foster care is not where infants go. Foster care is when a born child is in, the parents are being charged with neglect for their born children, and then the children get pulled into foster care from a bad situation to be put into foster care to figure something else out for the child. They don't go into foster care from infancy. If you're pregnant with a child and you know that you don't want it, it will be adopted by a loving family immediately. You'll have your pick of the litter of families to choose from. So here and there, that's the first reason. The first reason this argument fails is the unique relationship that parents have to children and the moral obligations that parents have to children. I'm just saying that neglect laws should apply from conception, not post-birth. So that's one. There also is a biblical passage from 1 Timothy 5:8. But if anyone does not provide for his relatives, and especially for members of his household, he has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. So this is something that the Bible supports also in forms of neglect. Things like this is it's unbiblical to not provide for your children and to use your bodies in this way. Secondly, the second reason that this argument where you have to provide your body, resources from your body, and connect to a random person to keep them alive from dying from some disease. The second reason that this fails is doesn't really have to do with neglect laws, but just logically, it just doesn't follow because of natural consequences. So the natural consequence of doing nothing, if you do nothing, that random person will die. Okay? You're not killing that person. They're dying. What's killing that person is the disease killed that person. You didn't kill that person. You did nothing. So that's different. In the case of abortion, you have a healthy human being that's developing, and if you do nothing, you are going to end up with a healthy human being that's born and alive. So doing nothing is going to result in a healthy person. What you have to do in the case of abortion is you have to intentionally kill that developing human. You have to take that human being and starve it to death somehow by taking a pill or doing something like this, or you have to all the other means of abortion, rip it out piece by piece. There's all sorts of different methods for the abortion to take place, but one way or another, it is the intentional termination of a human being's life. So that's what makes it different from that argument. And this is why neglect laws are important. And I think that there's consensus across the entire country regarding neglect laws are a good thing and to protect children, and that parents do have this moral obligation to provide for their children when they're alive outside of the womb. And I'm just saying that we should apply neglect laws consistently to children inside the womb as well, because it's the same child, it's the same human being, it's the same genetic code. It's just they haven't developed yet to the point where they're being outside the womb, and that's just a stage of development. We don't get to kill people based on their stage of development. That'll be it for this video, and I hope this was helpful to you. And thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Until then, God bless. Thanks.